Hello guys, and welcome back to another video where we're checking out another civilization from the Three Kingdoms expansion coming out next month. Today we're gonna look at the Jurchens, if that's how you pronounce it. So they are a cavalry and gunpowder civilization. Right off the bat we see that they have a very special feature already with the meat of hunted and livestock animals doesn't decay. It is a neat bonus, and I can see you maybe using it to hunt, like on Nomad for example. If you have a villager across the map, you could use that villager to kill deer for an ally, and then the ally can eat that deer forever. Unless once another player starts eating it, the animals start decaying. It is a nice bonus nonetheless, and will give you some extra food for sure. Mounted units and fire lancers both attack 20% faster starting in the feudal age. Now you don't get fire lancers until the castle age, so this only affects the mounted units in the feudal age. And of course, as we know, the only mounted units available in the feudal age are the scout cavalry. So the scouts essentially will attack 20% faster, which is a very nice bonus as well, and gonna probably make the scout opening of this civilization quite powerful. They also have siege engineers available in the castle age, and if we just quickly look below that again, we have siege and fortification upgrades costing minus 75% wood and also research 100% faster. Now siege engineers still cost 500 food, so despite the significant wood discount, the food cost is still hard to justify, but then again, with the new rocket cart, maybe there's potential here. It also does affect rams and scorpions as well in this case, so it can probably be a pretty good upgrade in many circumstances. The next bonus is that units receive 50% less friendly fire damage. Now you don't really want to do friendly fire in any circumstance, but with those new rocket carts, maybe there will be circumstances where you are charging in and shooting at the same spot that you're fighting already, so taking less friendly fire I guess is good, but I mean you never want to do friendly fire to begin with, so it is a bit of a weird bonus, but yeah, who knows, maybe it's gonna play out pretty well. Looking at their unique units, they do have the Iron Pagoda, which is a cavalry unit that you can build from the castle. This is the Jurchen unique heavy cavalry with durable armor that can completely block melee attacks. It's strong against infantry and ranged soldiers, and weak against the spearman line and camel riders. Imagine this is going to work the same way as, for example, the Sharamsha rider, where you can probably take one hit or two hits where you block the first melee attack, and then after that they will have to charge up again before you can block another melee attack. It is quite expensive with 80 food, but only costing 55 gold makes it probably a likely unit that you can make even in the castle age. It has 115 HP without bloodlines, and 12 attack, 1 melee armor and 3 pierce armor, which makes you very tanky against range units. Upgrade to elite cost 950 food and 750 gold, and you get another 25 HP, another 2 attack and 1 extra melee armor. They also have another unique unit in the Grenadier. This one you can make from the archery range in the castle age. This is a unique gunpowder unit with ranged blast attack, but cannot attack at close range. It's strong against infantry unit and tight groups of units, but weak against ranged soldiers and units at close range. So you probably don't want to fight this against cavalry units or, for example, skirmishers. You have 35 HP, 11 attack here, with +1/+1 armor, but 6 range, and you probably won't get benefited from like fletching and bodkin arrow here. But this is probably where that take 50% less friendly fire damage also comes into play, as the Grenadiers probably will do damage to your own units as well. It seems like quite a powerful unit, but it's also quite expensive with 35 food and 70 gold. I'm not sure how viable it's gonna be, but I'm sure we can find a masterpiece or two with this unit. Staying at the archery range, we can see that they do only get crossbowmen and elite skirmishers, but they do have heavy cavalry archers. However, without thumbring and Parthian tactics, probably the heavy cav archers are not going to be a viable option either. They do, however, have all the ranged unit upgrades in the blacksmith with the fully upgraded armor and bracer. In the barracks, they, funnily enough, only get men at arms. You cannot even get longswordmen with this civilization. I don't know why, it's quite strange. But yeah, at least you have halberdier, and you also have fire lancers, which again attack 20% faster. You also have squires, gambesons, and arsons. Gambesons, keep in mind that also impacts the fire lancers, so very nice to have. Funnily enough, they also don't have the last armor upgrade for infantry, but they do have the full attack upgrades. And looking at the stable, they do have fully upgraded hussar, they have elite step lancers, husbandry and bloodlines, but no equivalent to the knight as we've seen with other civilizations. However, the unique unit will probably serve that role. In the siege workshop, they obviously have very powerful siege units as well, given that it is a gunpowder civilization. Bomber cannons, no-brainer. They also have heavy scorpions, heavy rocket cart, and siege rams. And in the blacksmith, they also have fully upgraded armor on cavalry. We can already see that they kind of lean heavily into the cavalry and gunpowder civilization, as their ranged units are not very impressive except maybe the Grenadier, and the barracks as well, quite weak with missing the last armor upgrade, so probably cavalry and gunpowder will be what you want to play here. Their dock is also not over the top impressive, but at least you have galleon, heavy demos, and also the Jurchens. In the university you're missing heated shot for some reason, and also bomber towers. You're also missing sappers for some reason in the castle, but I never understand what's the argument they make. Why should this civ not get sappers? I wonder what the thought process is there. The monastery is also, I mean, it has a lot of upgrades, but when you miss redemption and also heresy, I feel like you cannot be labeled as a good monastery civ. Although you have solid upgrades here in like block printing, theocracy, illumination, all the imperial age techs. Economically, they have the whole shebang, every single upgrade in the game, so nothing to worry about there. Their castle age unique tech is fortified bastions, which makes fortifications regenerate 500 HP per minute. So another passive heal here, where it's probably going to be incredibly powerful actually. If you keep a castle alive or have like a trebuchet war, the fact that your castle is passively healing is a massive bonus. And again, if they don't finish off a castle, if they leave it for a couple of minutes, that castle is going to be full HP again. So this is, in my opinion, an incredibly powerful upgrade, and it's only costing 350 food and 250 wood. This is a no-brainer to get every single time, and it's going to be incredibly valuable, I guess that works, in a lot of games. In Imperial Age you have Thunderclap Bombs, which makes rocket carts, grenadiers, and Jurchens detonate when defeated. Another action RPG mechanic, where you kill something and it will leave an explosion or something after you pass away or die. There's a lot of inspiration here from, I think, different type of games. Projectiles produce additional explosions on top of that, which I assume is for everyone, like all the time, and not only during the detonation when defeated. But still, that could also be incredibly powerful. So you kind of want to destroy a rocket cart grenadier or Jurchen in this case, and then back off. It could be very powerful. We're gonna have to wait and see. It's also very expensive, 900 food and 600 gold. So first impression of this civilization is that it has some very strong strengths, but it's probably gonna play quite weird. Cavalry only and gunpowder is very strange in 1v1, but I think in team games it could be very powerful. Speaking of team games, their team bonus is that gunpowder units have +2 line of sights. Now this is not really that helpful in many situations, but for the grenadier in the castle age, having that extra 2 line of sight can be quite useful. So just to showcase how this is gonna work, we have 2 castles here. You can see how my castle is passively regenerating already. He switched his target to my trebuchets for some reason, but still, this is gonna give you like another extra hit or something in a trebuchet war or 2. So, and keep in mind, this is free. You're not paying for this. I mean, you always have to pay for the unique tech, but yeah, I think this unique tech here is a no-brainer to make, and it seems incredibly powerful and useful. Now I want to see just how grenadiers perform. Again, they have pretty good stats. Low HP, decent range, but they're supposed to do AoE damage. But the big thing about them is they don't get any further benefits in Imperial Age. I mean, chemistry probably gives +1 attack, right? But it's not a unit that scales and gets like elite grenadier, for example. So it should be a very powerful unit. We'll see here. Okay, I mean, it's not amazing against cavalry, but still, this is gonna pack a punch against units that don't have a ton of armor. Huh. Okay. Alright, I want to test this as well with unique tech. Oh yeah, it is extra. They shoot twice, it seems like now. Okay, that makes a massive difference. Look how suddenly we... What? What is this upgrade again? Rocket grenadiers detonate when defeated. Projectiles produce additional explosions. Ah, so each projectile will produce... Okay, I'm completely stupid. Man, that was night and day in how that performed. This unit might be absolutely nuts in Imperial Age with that research. Holy smokes. I need to try it against more powerful units. This time we're against generic paladin from Spanish, and both the paladin and myself are fully upgraded with chemistry and everything. As you can see, chemistry does not give +1 attack to the grenadiers. We do get extra range from the siege engineers, of course. The paladins have full upgrades. We have the same amount of units. Let's go. Okay, the paladins are a little bit more tanky than Castle Age Keshik, that is to be said. But still not too shabby. You can see there are explosions after you die as well, which did leave some corpses here. What happens if I delete my own unit now in middle here? So that does not do friendly fire. Interesting. Here we can also see the discount on the fortification upgrades. See, Masonry, for example, only 44 wood. Siege Engineers, only 150 wood. You have a Treadmill Crane, only 50 wood. Honestly, this is worth it. Fortified Wall is only 25 wood. Guard Tower is only 62 wood. Doesn't affect ballistics, fortunately. Yeah, very, very powerful. See, Keep is suddenly only 87 wood, Arrow Slit 62, Architecture also only 50 wood. So you know what? You save a lot of wood over time if you do these researches, and combining those with the Fortified Bastions means that you have a very powerful way to play like towers or castles and walls and everything. This reminds me a little bit of Jurchens in this stylistically. I think this is going to be a very hard civ to break down. So where do I think this unit lands in the power scale of things? I think there are some neat bonuses here. I think Fire Lancers, I mean, I still haven't played with these units in a competitive game, right? So I'm still a bit concerned that Fire Lancers could be OP, especially these ones that fire 20% or attack 20% faster. But yeah, I can also see Siege Engineers. Again, it is 500 food to research still. But imagine your Scorpions having 8 range, and with Khmer team game, you could have 9 range Scorpions in the Castle Age. That is insane. So maybe this is still legit as well. And then you can play with the Siege, having extra healing. Again, I think the civ is going to be very hard to break if they take a little bit of a passive approach. You can just use fortifications to defend. You can then use cavalry to raid. And then, of course, the units that probably no one yet knows exactly how good they are. The Grenadiers, the rocket carts. Those units are yet to be decided if they're actually very good or just okay, or maybe even bad. I think the Grenadier seems very good though once you get the last upgrade. So I still think this civilization doesn't strike me as like, oh my god, this is gonna be so OP, right? But I think they have a lot of good tools. They have some cool bonuses as well. And I would reckon this civ will probably land in the upper half when it comes to power. Maybe a little bit higher, so like top 15 civ-ish. I don't think this is gonna be like an immediate, oh my god, top 5 civ. So I think they're gonna shine a lot, especially in team games. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot for watching, and please do let me know your thoughts and your opinions in the comments. Am I completely off here? Is this civ gonna be mega OP? Maybe you think it's gonna be actually trash. We're yet to see, and yeah, I will start playing with the new patch probably after the coming week. Have some Warcraft 3 focus I need to do, but yeah, expect gameplay from me with the new patch after that. And of course, when the DLC is out, I'm also gonna play a lot of games with the new civilizations as well. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.